Chers membres, il est maintenant le temps d'accueillir Niki Ashton.
Fellow New Democrats, please welcome to the stage Niki Ashton.
Hi, my name is Paige Kazima, and I live in Regina, Saskatchewan. I've been involved in student politics, the labor movement, and I've been active in the party since I was basically in diapers. Niki doesn't use her voice to speak for other people. Instead, she empowers us to talk about the things that matter.
I support Niki Ashton because all summer my home has been filled with wildfire smoke, and I need to ask for help to afford the medication that I need to breathe.
Parce que c'est une femme engagée. Comme moi, elle croit à la justice sociale, environnementale et économique.
Because she is a progressive leader with bold and principled policies.
Because I want an NDP that will do for education what Tommy Douglas did for healthcare.
Parce qu'elle a mis de l'avant un plan clair pour lutter contre la discrimination et contre la violence faite aux femmes.
Because I believe in a future that is fair, accessible, and just for all.
Because of policy. Her policies are the most progressive, they're the most comprehensive, and they're the most transformational.
Because Niki has inspired an entire generation to fight for our rights and the rights of others.
Because she's bringing change to a system that is failing many.
Because she is a smart, strong, experienced, progressive woman who will take our party in the right direction.
Parce que je trouve que c'est une source d'inspiration pour les femmes partout. Elle a amené des propos intelligents, bien songés, bien pensés, et puis voilà.
Because she is the strong, visionary leader Canada needs right now.
I'm inspired by people across this country. Le Québec, une province progressiste où les militants, les militantes et les mouvements sociaux ont pavé la voie pour la gauche et sont devenus une source d'inspiration. BC, where environmental justice is the BC way. The prairies, where grassroots politics go hand in hand with a commitment to social justice. You can tell that this is where it all started, and this is home. Our North, where Indigenous struggles and resistance are leading the way. Ontario, a province of progressive activists seeking nothing less than changing the system. The Atlantic, where many are leading the fight for people over profit and privilege. People have shared many powerful stories. I think of standing with the steelworkers in Hamilton who are fighting for justice, for dignity. When we stood at a plant taken over by a foreign company that has brought in scabs and slashed employment because of Liberal and Tory economic policies. I think of the many inspiring activists, many strong women like Rhiannon and Linnea, who are fighting against pipelines in BC and New Brunswick, fighting for Indigenous rights, fighting for their communities, and fighting to transition to a carbon-free economy. I'm running for leader of Canada's NDP because we need a bold, progressive agenda to tackle growing inequality and catastrophic climate change.
Plusieurs Canadiens font face à la précarité d'emploi. Ils méritent un gouvernement qui fait preuve de leadership au lieu de leur dire, et je cite, de s'habituer. Inacceptable.
We can win in 2019 with a principled, progressive agenda. Principled politics is smart politics. We know that principled leaders rise to power when we're clear on which side we're on the side of working people and those struggling on the margins. We are building a movement for social, environmental, and economic justice together. Join us.
I dare to dream. I dare to dream.
I dare to dream.
I dare to dream.
J'ose rêver de justice sociale, économique et environnementale.
Like Niki, I dare to dream
of social,
economic,
and environmental justice.
We're building a movement.
Join me.
Join me.
Join me.
Join me.
Join me. Join us. Vote for Niki.
C'est la résilience, la passion et le dévouement de Niki qui m'assurent qu'elle est la personne idéale pour mener le mouvement pour un changement progressiste au Canada. Un mouvement inclusif, innovateur et conscient de la nécessité de créer un pays qui répond réellement aux besoins des Canadiens.
I hope you'll join me in supporting Niki Ashton for leader of the NDP, because together we can challenge the status quo, we can have renewal in our party, and we can create a country that truly works for everybody. Bye.
Je tiens à reconnaître que nous sommes en territoire Mississauga non cédé. Ce qui a été déterminant dans mon choix d'appuyer Niki, c'est quand j'ai réalisé que les jeunes néo-démocrates dans Saint-Hyacinthe-Bagotte appuient Niki. Quel message d'espoir! Je suis membre depuis 10 ans. J'ai été recrutée par Jack Layton et Thomas Molker et j'ai compris à quel point c'est important d'avoir un chef inspirant qui est une source de motivation pour nous tous. La première fois que j'ai entendu Niki, c'était probablement lors du congrès d'Halifax en 2009. J'ai dit « Wow! Quelle femme passionnée et déterminée! » Et depuis ce jour, à chaque fois que j'écoute Niki, j'entends une femme de cœur qui sait toucher les gens et qui sera connectée avec le Québec et le reste du Canada. J'ai besoin d'une chef qui me donne le goût, quand je l'écoute, de changer le monde. Niki sait nous inspirer avec sa vision où personne n'est laissé pour compte. Tous ceux et celles qui ont entendu un de ses discours savent à quel point elle sait transmettre ses convictions et son énergie. Lors des campagnes de 2007 et 2008, j'ai réalisé que le Québec pouvait connecter avec le NPD. Et je sais maintenant qu'un jour, nous aurons le gouvernement néo-démocrate que le Canada mérite d'avoir. J'imagine facilement Niki en 2019 dans une ferme de Saint-Hyacinthe-Bagotte où elle va inspirer les producteurs agricoles. Car la sauvegarde de la gestion de l'offre et des fermes, c'est pas juste des belles paroles. Il faut le faire pour assurer avec des actions concrètes notre sécurité alimentaire. Nous devons choisir une chef en pensant comment la population souhaite avoir de vrais leaders politiques qui parlent avec leur cœur, qui les touchent et leur donnent de l'espoir. Mais surtout, les gens veulent une leader qui a le courage de poser les gestes nécessaires pour concrétiser nos idéaux. Niki nous a présenté un programme complet qui transpose en action nos valeurs, nos principes et nos convictions. J'appuie Niki car elle incarne les valeurs progressistes du NPD dans ses idéaux, dans ses actions, mais surtout dans sa façon d'être avec les gens. Tout comme moi, elle a à cœur la justice sociale et souhaite bâtir un mouvement inclusif afin que tous et toutes aient leur place. Elle comprend les réalités du Québec et représente le futur du NPD. Je suis extrêmement fière de présenter la candidature de Niki Ashton comme prochaine chef du NPD. Lançons un mouvement ensemble. Votons Niki.
Ago, I had the opportunity of meeting Niki during my undergrad at Brock University. I was part of a club called Brock Women in the House, where I had the opportunity to shadow a female MP and connect with female MPs from all parties. I remember when I met Niki, I had tears running down my face as I finally had the opportunity to meet my role model. While I was hyperventilating and trying to remember how to breathe, Niki came up to me and gave me a hug and said, "It's such an honor to meet you, Arishana. You are my inspiration and my role model." I was so awestruck that Niki Ashton, a well-experienced MP with so many accomplishments, looked up to me as her inspiration. After meeting Niki, she took me under her wings and taught me so much about politics. I had the opportunity to work in her parliamentary office, where I helped organize the first ever Precarious Workers Forum. Seeing Niki in action was amazing. Whether that be holding the Prime Minister to account in question period in Ottawa, canvassing for a by-election in Toronto, or working with students on the East Coast on ending precarious work, Niki was always there. She inspired me to continue the fight for justice, to build a movement, and to continue to inspire many young women and Canadians. Niki Ashton has taught me that it's okay to be myself and to never let people get in the way of my dreams and my passion. Niki's always been there for me, and I'm so proud today to be standing up here for her. That is why I am supporting Niki Ashton for the leader of the NDP. Her passion, her determination, and her strength when fighting for social justice is what we need from the next leader of our party. It's time for a prime minister whose feminism goes beyond a catch slogan. It's time for fundamental change. With Niki as our leader, we can build a movement for social, economic, and environmental justice.
Such an honor to be here in front of you to talk about my good friend, Niki Ashton. Throughout the campaign, Niki has been a strong advocate for fairness, equity, and progressive policy. Over the last few months, she's proven her dedication to the issues she and I care about. Issues like accessible education with free tuition, good jobs in modern industry, and a place at the table for everyone in Canadian society. That is why I endorse Niki Ashton, and that is why I continue to support Niki Ashton. Niki inspires people wherever she goes, and as a Prairie sister, I can tell you that the way Niki stands up for her community inspires me. It is time now for me to introduce my good friend, Niki Ashton, our next leader and Canada's next Prime Minister.
Merci, Brigitte. I want to begin by acknowledging that we are in the traditional territory of the Mississauga people. Something is happening in our country. We are building a movement from coast to coast. Nous lançons un mouvement d'un océan à l'autre. Il s'agit d'un mouvement pour le changement fondamental. I am from Thompson, Manitoba, a mining town, a union town in our north on NCN traditional territory. I'm the daughter of immigrants. My first language is not English or French, it's Greek. Imidriki muglosa. Je suis fière d'avoir appris le français. C'est primordial pour moi afin de bien comprendre ce qui se passe dans notre pays. I grew up in a multicultural community. In the process, I learned or even studied a few languages: Espanol, Ukrainsky, Ruski, Putonghua, and Cree. Growing up, I saw the tremendous paradox, though, of Canada. In a region that is so wealthy, Indigenous communities live in third world conditions, and more value-added jobs are being taken away. And I saw firsthand the power of the labor movement in fighting for fairness. I grew up knowing which side I was on. And I believe that we are at a crossroads today. As a party, as a movement, and as a country, we are facing growing inequality and catastrophic climate change, and a resurgence of the politics of hate. La crise des inégalités dans notre pays ne peut pas être assez soulignée. Au Canada, elles connaissent une croissance encore plus rapide que chez nos voisins américains. Plus de 37% des gains de revenus au Canada encourus lors des dernières 25 années sont allés dans les poches de 1%. Our manufacturing sector has been hollowed out, and it's the lowest levels of employment since the 1960s. 2 Canadian billionaires own the same amount of wealth as 11 million Canadians. The middle class is eroding, and poor and working class Canadians are falling further behind. Inequality has many faces. Les inégalités ont plusieurs visages. Autochtones, racisées, genrées. Pour les personnes handicapées, elles sont queer, trans, et de plus en plus, elles ont un nouveau visage, celui de l'inégalité intergénérationnelle. Les jeunes, membres de la génération dite millénaire. Young people, the millennial generation, my generation, are facing the prospect of being worse off than previous generations. Precarious employment, sky-high tuitions and high student debts, and add to that housing prices and even rental prices where people can't get in. This is the reality an increasingly precarious life. I took this time to travel the country, to listen to millennials and community members, and I will never forget their stories. Like the young woman in Windsor who moved back into her home city, into her parents' basement to get a 3rd degree, hoping to finally be able to find work. But one thing she said she knew she wasn't going to be able to do was to have kids, because she could never give them what her parents gave her. This didn't just happen. It is the result of political and economic decisions, decades of liberal and conservative economic policies like privatization, deregulation, outsourcing, austerity, foreign takeovers, and job-killing trade deals. We've had 150 years of liberal and conservative governments, and if anybody believes that there's any significant difference between them, just look at what's happening with NAFTA. Au lieu de défendre les emplois des Canadiens et des Canadiennes, Justin Trudeau a eu l'idée géniale d'inviter un des architectes de l'ALENA à titre de conseiller principal en matière d'échanges commerciaux. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Liberal, Tory, same old story. Fellow New Democrats, there is a better way. We can build a society based on people, not profits. It starts with fundamental change, tackling inequality through tax reform that will ensure that millionaires and billionaires pay their fair share. Nous utiliserons ces revenus pour améliorer la qualité de vie de l'ensemble de la population, pour améliorer notre système de santé, en adoptant un programme d'assurance médicaments universel, d'assurance dentaire et des services de santé mentale. And in a country where education is a right, where nearly 2/3 of jobs require post-secondary education, we can, we must, and we will roll back and eliminate tuition fees in Canada. We can and we will be bold by establishing a national child care system, and we will create jobs in this country, good jobs. Nous créerons des emplois, de bons emplois, grâce à des investissements massifs dans le logement et en faisant preuve d'audace en appuyant la nouvelle économie verte. We will use public ownership for the public good, including sending a clear message to the Liberals that if they privatize it, we will nationalize it when we form government. We can and we will bring about economic justice through fundamental change. Nous ne devons pas nous douter de la véracité des changements climatiques aussi. Ils sont réels et ces ravages se font déjà sentir. On est confronté à une vraie catastrophe si nous n'agissons pas avec sérieux en tant que pays et en tant que planète. It starts by recognizing that climate change didn't just happen. It is the result of an unsustainable economic system. And let's be clear, the solution will not come from big oil or from liberals and conservatives that have failed us so far. We must be bold. Scientists are telling us that even the next 3 years will be critical, so we must act now. And there is no room to sit on the fence. I have been clear in opposing pipelines. We cannot violate Indigenous rights and destroy the environment. And we will use public ownership, a crown corporation, to spearhead shifting to a carbon-free economy. Nous devons agir pour contrer la croissance des inégalités et des changements climatiques, mais nous devons aussi agir en vue de contrer une menace émergente. La politique de la haine et de la division, le racisme, l'islamophobie, l'antisémitisme, l'homophobie, la transphobie et la misogynie ici au Canada et à l'étranger. And while we fight for justice here at home, we must fight for justice abroad. It is time for the NDP to be a principled voice, again, for peace and justice in Palestine and the Middle East. And we must speak out against human rights abuses and for international law, whether it's the Rohingya Muslims or Tamils or Kurds. Le NPD et le Canada doivent porter la voix de la paix à travers le monde. Et cela commence en rejetant la croissance massive des dépenses militaires initiées par les libéraux. It is clear we must be bold. Incremental change won't cut it. Bold, progressive politics is smart politics. Les politiques progressistes audacieuses sont les politiques de l'avenir. C'est la clé en vue de connecter avec les Canadiens et les Canadiennes, et nous pouvons rebâtir notre parti en vue de renouer avec les victoires lors de la prochaine élection. So consider this for a moment. In the next election, the largest single voting group will be the millennial generation. On social and economic issues, millennials are one of the most progressive generations in history. And in the last election, Justin Trudeau promised real change. He received record support from young people. And of course, young people came out and crushed that idea that they don't vote. The reality was Trudeau did not deliver. He lied. In fact, he has broken promise after promise after promise. We can offer Canadians fundamental change. Women will be critical in the next election. Working people, the declining middle class, Indigenous people, racialized Canadians are looking for progressive ideas. Les politiques progressistes sont aussi importantes au Québec. Avec sa tradition progressiste, ses mouvements militants et la solidarité sociale, nous pouvons bâtir une nouvelle vague orange. Nous avons besoin de politiques progressistes, a progressive politics not driven by polling and PR, but by principles, policies, and passion. So Justin Trudeau, if you are watching, I have a message for you. Enjoy being Prime Minister while it lasts. Because in the next election, I know you're going to try to recycle your promises. You may even take a few more selfies. But Canadians know that only the NDP will bring real change. Tommy Douglas dared us to dream. I dare to dream. I ask you to join us in building a movement for social, environmental, and economic justice for all. Je vous invite de nous rejoindre. Join us. Thank you. Merci.